I would love to say the best audience ngabantu abangela mali eningi, if that makes sense. Like average people. For me, that's the best audience. Because abantu abale mali bahleki, bore, but they're too serious. I don't know what you don't know with the accent. I think where I started, like using that accent, and I laughed hard. So nothing figured in. You know, I was imitating that person. You know, it was funny to me to hear someone speaking Vele in that funny accent. So and I'm doing all of that accent. People are laughing and someone recorded me. So I don't know, I switch to that accent anytime. Vele with accents, I think I'm a bit good with accents. So I switch at any minute. Ibizo lokuzalwa nguThuba Sibanda. But engaziwa ngalo Nceku. I was given this name by a friend because I used to be very pastor-ish at church, and so the boys used to call me Mfundisi Nceku, you know. So Nceku is the comedian, musician, actor, events coordinator, MC. Konke nje ukudinga abantu abahlanyayo ngathi ngiphakathi wakho. That's who Nceku is, born and bred in Bulawayo. Yeah, man. Okay, so Nceku came after I had already done my concerts, but as a musician and as an MC. Then came the idea of Nceku, the whole comedy, the new baby comedy. But ngangivele sengani ngu-events kancane. So I started with the skits, doing skits, all these funny skits, random skits, sending them out, you know, and then there was demand. People are now saying, okay, we see you on the phone, but can you put something together where we can come and watch you live? And I had not done much of stand-up comedy with anyone when I did my first show alone. It was like, ngafundela khona, if ngesindebele kuthiwa ngakati ibhasi ihamba. You know, in my early stages of stand-up comedy, I did my own stand-up comedy. Ngayifaka ngendlela yami engambona ngani izasebenza ngayo. So that's how I moved from doing all these concerts to my stand-up comedy shows. And then after that, I started getting more and more bookings as my stand-up comedy. I'm not part of Umahlekisa Comedy Club, but I've worked with them on several projects. I think since 2017, I've done shows now, but when they're putting up a show and I go and feature and all of that, and we have a good relation. I think one thing I've had to accept Lilema. Just recently when I released the song and I was listening to it, ngaba le moment yami ngedwa where I'm thinking, okay, into zonke lezi ngizithethe, because some of the things engizizwayo I don't remember ngizihlabela. I'm random like that. I'm someone who's very, very, very random. Very random. So angila formula where I can say I sit down and I write and then I practice this and then no. I'm just random. After this interview I can just come up with something, you know. So I don't have quite a process elandekayo, okay, but of course when you're doing stand-up comedy now, you have to put your things together so that you know, stand-up comedy becomes a bit different from my skits. I have to time myself. At times I'm working with a band on stage, so they have to know what are we doing, the effects they have to put, so they have to have a script and a guide. When I'm doing stand-up comedy, that's when I script some things down. But my skits are camera record is yasuka. That's how I create my stuff. I died recently. Some big show in Harare recently. Not even Dal. I've died many times. You always have your days. Whether you're a driver, one day nje kuzo mawushayela uthanda uhamba ngekhombi le day ungazizokuhambe kahle. So it's a profession, you know. I recently died in Harare of this big show. Now it was a very VIP, very exclusive event. Exclusive. Big people, big government officials, you know, church leaders, business owners. Number one. Number two, bafaka ma mask. So now even when they are laughing, I can't hear their reaction. And ngabantu abaposh, you know, they abahleki njengathi. Thina elokishini ungachaya ijoke ngiyakwamuka. But for people that are up there, when you crack a joke, some of them just then after the show, somebody would go, that was good. But the moment I was on stage, I couldn't hear their reaction. It was hard. It was hard. I remember I put my stage in it, I think 2 minutes before because I was feeling the pressure, no reaction, no response. But bahlekela phansi, baposh, bafaka ama mask. And after the show, bye, and they're like, okay. But I had died. Yeah, so ketolagala. But you obviously always become an Elliot. Yeah, but you always have to find a way. If you die, mawuphume stage and make sure you're an Elliot. Uvuke. Then yeah, cover. Hey, Shandarabakasi. Hallelujah. I think Christianity has impacted my career in a way. Number one, I was groomed to Christianity. The charisma I have ezokuma phambi kwabantu, or because when you are an artist, you have to be a leader. All of those qualities ngazifunda Christianity, through Christianity. Secondly, most of my followers basuka from a Christian community. Hence the name Nceku. Hence the skits I used to do. Hence the topics I used to address. I'm one person who can talk about pastors and laugh. The next thing, we're drinking tea together because they've accepted that. So I think my support base yasukela from Christians. So and well, now we are grown, support is everywhere. But I always feel like my foundation was based my Christians. So yeah, and of course they pray for me, and of course they ask for imali tithe. Abafundi so kwenza nsebenza hard, so kuyang impact. There are two, and I can't separate them. Because India corner, it was, the event was like a journey. It's like I'm event, but it was a breakthrough, which was a journey, a series of breakthroughs. My highlight, of course, was performing in England. You know, and by then I was staying in Pumla South. I was shooting my skits in Masimini. And then I get that recognition, come to England. People from Zim, your community, they love you, they want to see you here. It was, for me, it was the breaking ground. Okay, I'm in England. When I'm in England, I meet a guy who's in SA, Dr Tumi, the gospel artist, is big in SA, he's big in the world. I meet him there, and when I'm doing my skits, he's watching and he's like, I would love you to come to my show. So now it's a continuation. Sure, okay, cool. Next thing, he emails, come to my show, I'm in SA. So the UK gig and the SA gig, Dr. Tumi, they go hand in hand. Because UK birthed Dr. Tumi's gig. Dr. Tumi's gig came from UK. So give me, those two events are the special events. And Dr. Tumi's events is like 30,000 people in this, the venue, 30,000, and it opened doors for me in SA and many media houses. So I can't separate those two. I can't. I think one of the things that has helped me when I'm doing stand-up comedy, I've been an MC before. So I know how to carry a crowd, even before doing comedy. I know how to carry a crowd. So when someone does something that's now a bit off, I always have this way of bringing them back. It could be in a comical way. I could respond in a comical way. Or I could switch and address them, but in a sober way. I remember like one gig. I'm busy, and then this guy is drunk and over. He's busy shouting and shouting. And I had one good word for him. It was comical. It was random. It was not sensitive. But ngamkhuza kuhle njengomjid. Sazwisisana. And then the show moved on. So I think you always have to know how to deal with people, how to read a situation, read the crowd. Or half how do I address this crowd of comedy? How do I handle this crowd? Obviously, there's responses Vele is khangelele when I'm doing certain jokes. Man says this might happen. So you always have to study crowd, know it, okay, and be quick. You have to be quick in thinking. But okay, what's the best thing to do? What's the best response to do? The best thing about my job is I can wake up any time of the day, number one. Number two, I can say a lot of things and get away with them. I can tell the truth and get away with it. Well, of course, Google boundary everywhere, you know. But like I was saying earlier, I've addressed. I'm more on the society, in my church. I've addressed issues that happen in churches. I've talked about pastors, and just I see me. It's a character, and get away with it. And number three, the best thing about my job is. I almost say too good my events, but I wanted to say I can have fun while working. I've had so much fun while working. But I'm having fun at the same time. At times there's an event, but then you're working. So I'm having fun while I'm working. The worst thing, the worst thing about, you say the worst thing about my job. Yeah. The worst thing about my job. The worst thing about my job. I think at times, as izinto ziba sensitive. You know, when you're a content creator, you have to always check what you're putting out. As izinto zingaba sensitive kwabanye abantu. Like I'll do a joke, and a random example. Ngikhulume abantu benketha. Abanye abantu bayahleka, zile sithi nginketha abantu they get pissed off. So you ungacaphula abantu in the process while you're trying to entertain. Or your motive was just to entertain. So you always have to watch what you put out. But always, yeah. So I'm one person who you know, everyone I have, I value. So my experience, if I do something and there are people that I lapus coins. Yo, but it's a job. I've never done much comedy outside church. I have, of course, but not much outside church. I wouldn't really know. But I would love to say the best audience ngabantu abangela mali eningi. If that makes sense, like average people. For me, that's the best audience. Because abantu abale mali bahleki, bore, but they're too serious. You know, and people are to maintain a class. So I'm average nje abantu bomphakathini nje. They're the best people. Abafana lami. Abunga crack a joke, they react freely. But abantu abale mali like these posh events, for me, I always avoid politics. But I don't know much about it. The character Nceku Vele like my focus wasn't on political issues. My focus was on church and the community nje. My issues on allowance, community love, forgiveness, politics. I think politics. I don't. Most of my stories started church. Yeah, Vele ngiqale ngene church. I just had the love for music. I had the love for playing instruments. And I remember when I joined church, like sengizicabangela around 16, age 16. In a month, in the church, I was already singing. So I've grown in that. I've joined groups, but I think my first inspiration, it was church. I don't know if I can put it as church or was it church. Now the thing is, I have two types of music. At times I sing gospel. That one is it's a proper song. I have to sit down, I write, I get good producers, I get good vocalists to come and assist. You know, it's a properly arranged song. I get someone to arrange, to produce. And then I don't know what to call this other side of music that I just get to do. Because there was a time where I felt like, okay, I'm doing comedy and I have a large following. Cholocho ngapa, Cholocho, Plum Tree, Lupane, all of Ncube, all of this side. And these people love the rumba. Why not sing something crazy on top of that? You know, just to sell the comedy in a song. So that one, Aliana Ipag. That one ngifike studio nje ngihlezi ngiyacela ichance ukungena ku mic. Like the reason why I did, I just said ungaqeda ukuba busy ngicela ungivulele mic le keyboard. I gave him a line. I sang. So my creative process depends on the type of music that I do. But when I'm doing proper music, I write first. I get someone to arrange. I get someone to suggest good vocalists and people we can work with. Yeah. So of course, for first, Wethembike. I featured a guy from SA. It's doing well in the Western Cape because I featured a Xhosa guy playing there. I think for me, to be honest, I'm content with that because when we did that song, I knew this song will sell more in South Africa because of the genre. You know, it's a genre about Sipo Makaban or something like that, which even in SA, it's popular in that area, not all around SA. So I had it in mind with Vele when we're doing this song. I know it's a popanga, so I expected it. The sound, the way it was produced, Vele, even me, if I wasn't the owner of the song, it's not really my genre here in Bulawayo. It's not something that we know. So people have it, yes, it's doing well. People have it, of course, but if Vele ona ikandelwe that part of SA. So for me, it's working because I know that even in I have people in SA that now follow the work. One day when I get to do something, a combine everyone, it's a win. But for now, SA, or Angikuzwa, but right bang up. There are people that don't understand. But then one day we'll do something that hopefully cuts across every tribe, every nationality. Yeah, it's gonna be a win. And then when it comes to Lezes of Uzanges of Nandi, I have Vele Angikuzwa, and then I recently released one of Umsindo Ncube. Yeah, so those are the singles that I have. Okay. I think with music, I'm only getting to go deep on it this year. I've always been reluctant. Since I started comedy, I was pushing comedy, but then there is a demand. The people are saying, we know you used to sing, we want this, and we want this. So all along my creative process has been haphazard like that. It's not something that I've really taken time to say, okay, today I'm writing songs, today I'm doing this. Nah. There's nothing deeper than what I said. Okay. I've been working on a drama series. Hoping we get to do it this year. Amid COVID. But for me, it's music this year. It's in my heart. And I push music as well, as much as I'm pushing comedy. Yeah. So an album, perhaps. Well, for acting, I started at school. I used to be in drama school, drama clubs. And then, of course, hey, I can't leave church. I used to write dramas and stuff in church as well. But into ebambekayo ngaqala ukuyenza, I did a series with Madlela. We're still working on it. I think kulezi zinto kusamele bazisorte admin and stuff, but we've been working on it. We're still on it. It's a series called Umbango, and in SA now there's something we are working on, a certain agency, but that one I'm not spilling it out now. But acting is also opening another door for me. I haven't done it much, but I've been learning. I've been getting tutorials about it, coaching, equipping myself. So there's one major door that's going to open soon in SA. That one, it's going to be a surprise. So yeah. Unyaka softwares can do that. One is Phir is can do because I go buy Zak na mom's wang. Zak can do in for no other gamchirai and a gamchirai. So she's my words uncle and a gamchirai. Tiriri, tiriri. I love that song, man. I love the song, yeah. Why do mothers need friends?
That's it, thank
you. For gossiping. Gossip partners. Phosati kukhululeka. Phosati ngikhululeke. My freedom, I'm not new experience skills but I think it's a state where you're not oppressed, state where you're free, where you can express yourself fully, where you can live your life freely and fully, no oppression. Better than a car. A plane, a rocket, obviously ATM. Anything that is money is better than a car. I'm at 4. A phone. Okay. No, this was a lovely interview. I haven't done this in a while, of course, because of COVID and the festive and all of that. But it was a lovely interview, and do continue to support and follow Nceku. We are going big. I always say that. I'm going big. We are going big. It's a team effort. It's a family. I don't do this alone. I do it with you guys. So we are going big. Keep on supporting the boy. Nceku to the world. At Nceku_official. Across all platforms. Nceku_official across all platforms. Ngintwane ne-order. Angifuni ukuthi mouse yakho Facebook tell Nceki ngapha ngiceza. Yeah, know what I mean.